afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to your place of chill. It is the Kauffie Company. Of course, as always, it's Monday, live on the Kauffie Company. And of course, Tottenham on tour, the world-famous home of Levy Out.
And of course, welcome to the Frankaholic Centre. Rehab is open for another hour. I hope everyone is good and well on this glorious Monday.
Of course, Aki. I am currently moving the fan because I think that will work better. If there's any noise, I apologise. It is very warm in here. I was roasting coffee earlier and it's a warm summer. So there are fans all over the shop. You can't see them, but I've got many fans in the shop. More fans than I've got in real life. But here we go. We're back here. We've got some breaking news. Paul O'Keefe dropped a knowledge bomb yesterday. So hopefully we can talk about that. And maybe we just have a chill chat today because there isn't that much news today. But without further ado, how was your birthday on Sunday, Brian? It was your birthday finally after James Flower has been polluting the airways with his dribble and his madness and his rubbish, saying that it was your birthday. It was finally your birthday yesterday. So how was it?
Yeah, listen, not only was it my birthday, it was my anniversary. So 46 years of being alive, 11 years of being blissfully married to my beautiful, wonderful wife. I had an excellent day. Excellent. It really was. We just had a nice chilled one together, relaxed. Ilana cooked an incredible dinner.
Actually, always does.
I'm very lucky to have a culinary trained wife who loves her cooking, and boy, do I reap the benefits of it. I really do get to enjoy a load of her food and her cooking. And we just had a very, very good day. But I do want to say thank you. I got so many messages personally via social media. It was just incredible. It was just incredible. And just an absolutely fantastic day. It really was excellent.
Great stuff. But without further ado, let's see who's in the audience to take us through the show. There are 45 of you across both channels so far, so make sure you like and subscribe to both Tottenham on Tour and, of course, the Kauffie Company. It really helps us both out a lot. Go and support a small business wherever you are in the world. But first of all, we've got Queen Ellie's in the house with her newly printed name. Good to see you, Ellie. Hopefully you're well. Hopefully you're good. Saying good morning, Ben. The day after it was Brian's actual birthday. Great to you both all the time. I have to say it is Eze, oi. But good to see you, Queen Ellie. Hopefully you're well, miss. Lovely to see you in the house. We got Moose Adam Bailey. Good to see her. Oh, yeah, forgot. Ellie, you're a European champion, miss. Moose Adam Bailey, European champion. And people are going to be saying this. We got Joris from Belgium. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, Joris. Hopefully you're well. Saying, hey, Brian, hope you're well. How's the health going? And
how's the health? How's the sleep? Let me just answer him, Ben. Joyce, brother, I will say that my breathing and everything is night and day, but my energy levels and sleep are non-existent again. I've gone right backwards with that, but I'm going to get tested and everything again. So hopefully they can find the bottom of it. But breathing, which is kind of important, I've been told, is night and day. So thank you.
That's always good. That is always good. We got Rich. Oh, yeah. European champion. I will make your coffee very, very soon. Richest man is in the house. Saying afternoon, everyone. Good to see you, buddy. European champion. We got Mr. Angus is in the house. Good to see you, buddy.
Back to back.
Mr. 3P is here. 3P runners up, and of course, 4th place in the Champions League. You will never sing that. Jet Fleet is in the house. European champion. Junior Mafia's in that. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Good to see you, buddy. European champion. Daniel 90. Good to see you, buddy. European champion. Riggs is in the house. European champion. Mr. Craig O'Sullivan.
Oh, marvellous that Craig's here.
Absolutely good to see you, buddy. European champion. The Guardians of the Pombo. Howling Mad Murdoch. Good to see you, buddy. afternoon, gentlemen. Eze is a must, and as well as experience. Number 6, Nicholas is in the house, European champion. Andy's in the house. I don't know if he supports Liverpool or Tottenham, but he is an English champion, apparently. Either way, Scott M's in the house, European champion. Happy belated birthday, bro. Trips are on a birthday gift from someone.
Yeah. My parents keeping me out of the country.
Indeed. We have Fiona's in the house saying, afternoon, Ben, Brian and chat. European champion here. Yes, you are, miss. Yes, you are. Mr. Shemtang's in the house. European champion, YouTube member. Dave Hayes in the house, European champion. Angus McDowell is saying, PSG, come on, please do the world a favour. We're going to do it anyway. Just like the final, we're going to do it anyway. We're going to win. Anton Pollard, European champion. Please tell me Eze rumours are true. I'm just getting over the Europe.
You've been bigged up twice there. You've been bigged up twice there.
He has.
The Coffin Ben.
Absolutely. Spurs rules in the house saying thanks for the regular content. We are European champ. We're trying to do as much as we can.
Exactly.
Monday and Friday will be Tottenham on Tour coffee sessions, and of course there will be coffee content through Tuesday and Thursday just to get this channel up and running, and we will be trying to do little bits like the fan show we did the other week. And we've been doing some great things. Gary Morton Barley's here. Good to see you, Gary. Hopefully you're well. Deal's already done, I reckon, but nothing will be paid until the financial new year on July the 1st. One more week, then we will see some action. I believe you are right, Mr. Gary. Hopefully you're well all the way from this island. Good to see you. Ian Ferguson, YouTube member, European champion. Good to see you, Ian. Hopefully you're well. I forgot. Did I say European champion to Morton Barley?
You can never say it.
Anyway. You are indeed. But yes, Eze signs this evening. I have inside knowledge in it. Big up. Big up. Big up. We got Ryan G's in the house with a new profile picture. Yes. And of course, we have to say runners up in the 1972 UEFA Cup final. Good to see you, buddy.
74.
72, 74, same thing, really.
77 is a very good year. Just want to shut that out there.
Except for Tottenham.
77 is a great year.
We have Phil P. Woo! Saying happy birthday, Daigle. You're 1 day late. You're 1 day late, but good to see you, Phil P. Yes.
1 day late. He was one of them that went about a week early, so a day late I'll accept.
Yep. Jason H is in the house, European champion. Yep. No team is unbeatable. Anthony, European champion. Jason Bell, YouTube member, European champion. The #1 Agenbar in the world. Good to see you, YouTube. He's a YouTube member in our hearts, European champion, and a diss.
I don't get it. I don't get why people are disrespecting him. I don't get it. Listen, the way I look at it, you know how you got like your Mount Rushmores. If I was to get a superhero group of players together, whether it be Marvel or DC, preferably Marvel, because I do love my Marvel, I would have Eze as one of the main leads in that. I've wanted him for 3 years. Spurs have wanted him for longer. I don't see how anyone can knock this. I don't understand how anyone can say, and Alicia's right, I have seen people playing it down and saying he's not good enough. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Indeed, we got Leo's in the house. Hi, Leo, YouTube member. Yes, you are a European champion, mate. Runners up. But let's talk about it. Paul O'Keefe. Yep. Paul O'Keefe broke yesterday evening. Yesterday evening that Crystal Palace have finally softened on their payment structure. Originally, they wanted £68 million with 50 of it at least up front. They have now changed their tune of being able to accept £20 million in 3 instalments.
Yep.
This finally looks like a deal's to be made. It's clear that Eze wants a bigger challenge now. He's a Crystal Palace legend. He is a Crystal Palace legend, being in the team that's won them an FA Cup, their first ever trophy ever.
Yep.
it finally looks like this deal is coming to this looks like the deal that they wanted all along, wasn't it, Aki?
Let's put it this way. When it's broken, that it's 3 installments of £20 million, I'm hoping, like I think Morton Barley, I think he said it, that he thinks it's done. One thing I have heard, I don't know now what I have heard, which I don't know if it's Crystal Palace have set the deadline, Spurs have set the deadline, or the release fee is active until, I keep hearing from different people that July the 5th. It needs to be done by July the 5th. Now, I don't know if that's Crystal Palace have said you agree to the 20 million 3 times by July the 5th is yours. I don't know if Spurs have said, right, Palace, you've got till, or again, big ups to, or it's his release fee is active until July the 5th. But listen, this signing will unite so many Spurs fans. This will have Spurs fans, because obviously right now you've got a lot of people going, oh my God, we've re-signed Tell, we've re-signed Dan. So it could be Walker Peters, could be Sirkin, could be this one. It's not the players' names that we want to hear. And it's certainly not the players' names that you would have assumed after Levy gave his blah, blah, blah spiel. Eze certainly is that man.
You can't have Eze, Aki. He's never won a trophy. Oh, no, he has won a trophy. He has won a trophy, sorry. He has won a trophy.
I saw one person, I can't remember who it was on Twitter, said, if we're paying 60 million for a 27-year-old, in 3 or 4 years, he's going to be too old. Is it worth 65 million? I'm like,
sod off.
I'm just like, I'm sure people are just saying this now. I'm sure, because I don't see how in any walk of life anyone can see that Eze comes to Tottenham Hotspur and doesn't dramatically improve this team immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Eze for me will be the jewel in the crown. Eze off the left to replace I think Sonny's gone. After this game in Korea, I think Sonny will be going to pastures new, which is very, very sad, because I do love Sonny. He's been an absolute hero in my eyes for many, many years. But imagine the year when Sonny finally leaves, we replace him with an equally, if not better, replacement for the future. We can't replace Sonny's goals, but we can give the players round that we're Maddison. How much is Maddison going to love playing with Eze? Which means Maddison can then drift out onto the left and Eze can go through the middle. Solanke's going to absolutely love having Eze run through those little channels and create space for him. Brennan Johnson is going to love playing with Eze, putting those balls in for the back post. Everything about Eberechi Eze to Spurs is yes. Get Daniel Bryan or Brian Danielson out. Get it out, because
Don't put my name and his name together.
Yes.
Like we said, if you look at our previous windows, especially last summer, big up, buddy, big up all the way in Melbourne. What you look at last season, apart from Solanke, every player was to strengthen the squad, not the first team. Bergvall and Gray got their minutes, obviously because of the injury issues, so they got their minutes. But that entire window, including Werner, Dom Solanke was the only one that came in and was like, right, you'll go straight into the first team, regardless. Spurs need to start strengthening their first team, as in players that will walk into the first team. And if we sign an Eberechi Eze, that's exactly what we do. That's exactly what we do. Big up, brother. I hope you're good and well. Thank you for your message.
Exactly, Ian. Exactly. It's not all our money. Of course, as a season ticket holder, some of that money will be my money because I paid into the club with my season ticket money. But it's just like, this is a player. This is a player that we need. This is a player we absolutely desperately need for the future.
I literally think, as Gavin and Stacey would say, if we signed him, it would be lush, lush, lush.
Indeed.
I think it would be.
We got Drew La is in the house. Good to see her. Hopefully all well. European champion. And of course, Drew La is a franker now. We've got a super chat from Ryan Tristane. Good to see you.
Big up, Ryan, brother.
Pound. Big money super chat. Good to see you in here, Ryan. He's got a message for you. He's saying, big up, Ryan. How long until Eze gets done? This will be the best signing in a long time. What do you think of Levy's interview he done? I think it's a PR stunt, in my opinion. Answer it, Aki.
Well, first of all, let's do it the easy way, because I'm going to chuck a question out to everyone, including you. The Levy interview was the biggest PR stunt you'll see since the last one he did. And like I said, I'm not going mad. I will be promoting and continuing to mention Levy out as much as I normally do. But I'm going to wait till the window closes and reevaluate his words and throw him back in his face when he cocks it up, or praise him if he has a good one. Finally, Eze coming is my dream signing for the last 3 years. It will be incredible. But he asked a good question, which was the last signing that would have excited you as much as Eze?
Van der Vaart.
And I'll chuck that out to everyone. There's 143 in here. What would have been the last signing that got you as excited? I mean, some people might say Maddison. When we are at the point of signing, I think a lot of people may say Maddison, but right now, bloody hell. I think there's been someone since Van der Vaart that I got very excited about. I would love to say Van der Ven, but I wasn't excited. I was happy he came, but then obviously what he did made him my favourite player. But I can't. Yeah, there's Barbaric. So do you know what? We've got a few here. We've got Maddison from You're on Mute. Nicholas has brought God into the conversation. I'm not talking Hodder, I'm talking Gaza. Barbaric's gone with Brian Hill.
Here's a question. Is the Eze signing better than Brian Hill?
Is he better than Brian Hill, eh?
It's good you mentioned that. It's good you played that version, because Ireland reached out to me yesterday. He's got a spare ticket for Toronto FC on Wednesday, so we're having a lads' day Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to that. But there's Van der Vaart. There's a lot of Van der Vaarts. Daniel's got Timo Werner, Gaza, Ginola, or Klinsmann. Stephen, you don't put Van der Vaart in that category. Do you know what? Wanyama I like. Do you know what? Who just said Wanyama?
Jason,
I honestly. For different, obviously, I loved Wanyama, big time. Oh, that's a great shout by Rainman. Everyone got very. Do you know what? I might have to go with that. I think I'm going with Rainman. I think I am. Yeah, I'm sticking with Rainman.
It was more nostalgia, I would say.
No, mate. Do you know what? I can remember that day, and do you know why I can remember that day? Because that's when I was watching a lot. Ali Gold was like the mate, and we are Tottenham TV. I think we had just started YouTube and everything. And I can remember every single year and every single window goes, listen, I'm not going to keep talking about Gareth Bale because there's nothing ever going on. And then he did a video saying that. Then he went and had a shave and came back and he goes, you know those videos where I say I won't talk about Gareth Bale?
Yeah.
He went, let's talk about Gareth Bale. And I was like, oh my good God. I'm going with Rayman. It's definitely Gareth Bale. Oh, that's a good one. Eriksen's a good one.
It was such a letdown.
Mate, do you know what, FC? My biggest ever regret as a Spurs fan is I never ever saw Gareth Bale live.
Yeah.
My biggest regret ever.
I never got a ticket to see Gareth Bale when he was back. Here. Which one, Daniel? The first one or second one? Because I must admit, I kind of, when we signed him the first time, I was kind of like, okay, he might need to get his career back on track. Son's going away on international duty. Maybe it'll be a cover, and maybe he can re-spark his career. But my God, that didn't last long. But yeah, listen, I what I will say, Anthony, when it comes to this, Gary Bex has gone Dembele. Was you excited? See, Moussa Dembele, was you? It was a bit of an unknown quantity at that time.
No, he was doing well at Fulham. He was playing more progressively, more forward line. But yeah, was I excited? I can't actually remember with that one.
My God, was he good though, wasn't he? My God, was he good?
Mate, listen, I saw Gaza, thank God. I saw Ginola. I never ever got to see Bale. But Eze, if we look at this now, with Paul O'Keefe saying what he said, with the payment structure, It's doable, isn't it? Well, it was doable the first time. It was just stumping up a lot of the money, and whether Spurs would do it or whether they can say they had the funds to do it. But now you've got Well, last year apparently it had to be to a Champions League team, didn't it? It was valid only that clause. Well, now it ticks all the boxes. The fee has gone down, or the payment structure has gone down.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if Eze comes, I was very excited with that, man. The transhumance. No, honestly, I cannot see how, if this payment structure is correct, I don't see how Spurs don't. I was about to say a buzzword. I'll bring one back. My favourite one of the window so far. Spurs should be intending to pounce.
Oh, I like intending to pounce.
That was a great one, mate. Do you know what? Gary, I keep saying all the time, when it comes to Soldado, Tottenham fouled him. He didn't foul Tottenham. We completely fouled Soldado. I thought he was going to be brilliant at Spurs, but then we played him out of position, out of the way he plays. I thought he could have been brilliant.
Yeah, it's that's the game that sort of made Gareth Bale then cemented himself as my hero. After that game, he was already that. My God, both those games when he was electric. He was absolutely electric. But I would say the best pure performance I've ever seen from a Spurs player, and people are going to say you're wrong here. Moussa Dembele versus Juventus away. He was untouchable. Remember that game 2-2? It was basically Moussa Dembele versus Juventus. That's how good he was.
The greatest single performance I've seen. Paul Gascoigne has got a few up there, but to go recent, I honestly, for me, forget the score which we won in the last minute. I was truly blessed, honoured, and privileged to be at Man City for that Harry Kane game, and watch that in its glory, mate. That game, I have never. He was. I honestly when I was with Ben and Sim, and I did We Are Tottenham TV afterwards with Sim. And when it came to player ratings, I gave Harry Kane a 27 or something out of 10. I've never seen, apart from Gaza, I've never seen anything like it individually. It was one of the most incredible performances I've ever seen in any football match anywhere in my life. It was absolutely. It was, like I said, it was an honour to be there. Big up, Si. Big up, buddy. I hope you're good, my man. We must catch up very soon.
That's a question for everyone. What is the best pure performance you've ever seen from a footballer? Let's do live. And if you haven't seen it worldwide, best one, pure performance you've seen from a Spurs player, and best performance you've seen from a player playing against Spurs. That's an interesting topic. So you've given yourself Paul Gascoigne. Who is your best performance you've seen against Spurs, Aki?
Best performance against Spurs?
Yes.
Live?
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to take some thinking. That's going to take some thinking. That really is. Against us.
Yeah, Graham.
I will say the one that I've probably seen against us, but it wasn't live. It was whilst I lived here. Or was I still here? Was I here, or was I still in London? I think I might have been here. Was Messi at Wembley?
Yeah, that's mine.
But I did not see that live. I
clapped Messi off the pitch when he went off as a sub.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did. I'm just trying to think. Jesus Christ.
That was truly unbelievable. That's one of the best Spurs teams I've ever seen. He tore us to a smithereens.
I tell you what, I have seen back in the day. I've seen John Barnes destroy us. I've seen John Barnes literally single-handedly destroy Spurs. Graham's come up with a great one. De Gea at Wembley there's been some great goalkeeping performance against us.
Yeah, De Gea at Wembley. Yeah. He certainly did. Omri was ridiculous. Best against Liam Brady. in the 5-0. Liam Brady was my God, what a footballer he was. Take the rivalry aside. Yeah, what a footballer he was. Messi, a lot of people. You win.
I have to say, the one above it, let me just bring it up, Stephen. That the 10 minutes that Gaza had, I honestly, as much as I love the free kick's incredible, but how he done Mickey Thomas for that 1-2 with Paul Allen, where he just literally, Mickey Thomas didn't know where Gaza was. It was the most explosive 10 minutes. Yeah. It was incredible. Mate, I still remember. That was unbelievable. I still remember the commentary for the last goal, the second one, when it was like, will Gareth Bale have one more magic trick in his wand of his left foot? Puts it in the back net. I think it was Clive Tilsley just went ta-da! I was like, those commentary moments are just fucking brilliant. Oh, mate, crawl against Newcastle. Jason H has just done it for me. That's the best performance I've seen live.
Also, Bogdan when he played for Sunderland, UC Jaskalainen when he always used to play for. There've been some.
Jaskalainen before Gareth Bale did his goal, but mate, that crawl against for Newcastle was one of the most frustrating. God bless that man, Rocky Roadcastle. God bless that man.
Shearer used to. I was at in the Lyon away end. When Spurs beat Lyon, when Spurs drew with Lyon in the last minute, Moussa Dembele is another Moussa Dembele last minute goal. What a goal that was!
Do you know what? When you say Shearer, I don't know. There's almost 200 people in here. I don't know if I'm going to get an absolute peltering for this or whatever. But if I had the chance, who I thought would have better suited Spurs between Alan Shearer and Robbie Fowler, I would have signed Robbie Fowler. I absolutely
you like Robbie Fowler.
I'm obsessed. Honestly, I think natural finisher. He was so far elite of everyone. I was obsessed with Robbie Fowler from when he scored his hat trick against the Filth. I think Robbie Fowler at Spurs would have been absolutely unstoppable. Honestly, better. I honestly think he would have done better at Spurs than Shearer. I honestly think that. For the kind of play we used to play, I absolutely adored Robbie Fowler. Absolutely adored him.
We're going to have a domestic, but we're not going to have a domestic. I'm a big fan of Alan Shearer. I think,
but Fowler was just more.
If we'd have had at one point, if we had the money and we had Shearer and Sheringham at Spurs, we would have won everything. I think if those two played with each other in a club team, the Gareth Bale Harry Kane thing record wouldn't exist if those if the Harry Kane and Son Heung-min record, it wouldn't exist. If those two played with each other for a club team, it would be infeasible. They were so unbelievable together.
Okay, I'm gonna see your Shearer and Sheringham, and I've said this before and I'll say it again. If Sheringham and Klinsmann had the same amount of time together as Son and Kane, Klinsmann and Sheringham would have blown it out of the water. Would have blown it absolutely out of the water. Absolutely. I don't think I ever shouted that. I don't think. I may have done before I changed to Angel, but then when I went back to if he stays, he stays. I honestly think I do remember that, mate. I do remember that very, very well. I just think Robbie Fowler, Shearer was just I think the kind of goals Fowler could score, all kinds of goals. I honestly think Fowler was right up there, right up there. If I had to.
This was an unbelievable goal. Oh. That was an unbelievable goal.
Oh, unbelievable.
What a goal that is.
Unbelievable. Oh, Spurs has just put in a play out that would be, I'd love at Spurs, but there's just not a chance.
Never going to happen. Never going to happen.
He is a wonderful player. He is a wonderful player.
He's from the Villa Academy, isn't he?
No.
Rogers.
No, he's not.
Where did they buy him from?
He was playing with, I'll tell you, wait, let's have a look. He wasn't from Morgan Rogers' career. He was, let's have a look.
Yeah, so Prime Drogba was unbelievable as a footballer.
So he started his career
West Brom.
There you go. So, yeah. He's been at Middlesbrough. Yeah, he started at West Brom. Went West Brom to Man City to Lincoln, Lincoln back to Man City, that's a loan. Man City to Bournemouth, Bournemouth to Man City, so they were loans. Then he went to Blackpool, then he went to Borough, and then Villa took him from Borough.
Okay. Yeah,
So
that's not happening.
Yeah, no, not a bloody chance. Not a
I
bloody
think
chance.
he's a quality player. Angus is saying.
Oh no! That, I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, Sam. But honestly, on there, no. Owen got the break in England, granted. But I think on their day, if I had to choose a striker out of Fowler and Owen, Robbie Fowler wins every single day. Every single time.
So much longer longevity, didn't he? Owen had that 2 or 3 years where he was untouchable.
Then his hamstrings.
Did his hamstrings. Came back to Newcastle. Had a good spell. And then he got injured at Spurs, funnily enough. And then that was him done. He didn't have the longevity. He never had that longevity.
Fowler was unbelievable back in the day. He could be.
I think he needs another loan. I think Donnelly needs to go on loan to a
championship.
Yeah, I think. And then he can... I really, really like Donnelly. I think he's a very, very decent footballer, and he's a great lad.
Do you know what we... Let's do this, actually, because obviously the conversation we've got to have, bringing it back to the current Spurs right now, when we are looking at... Obviously, we're looking at this window and it's really, really, really got to heat up. But there's a lot of chat on Twitter right now and all social media about the youngsters and are they good enough and blah, blah, blah. A lot of people saying, obviously, like myself, that Frank will develop players. But there's a lot of people saying that this is what Levy wants. We're not going to bring in players. It's going to be the youngsters, blah, blah, blah. And people said Frank will coach them. He will. But there are some that need to go on loan. And you look at it. People, for instance, Solomon, I think, is gone. Hill, I think, is gone. Valise will be going. Phillips is causing a big conversation. And I'm a massive fan of Ashley Phillips. When we signed him, I actually put a tweet out on the day saying the year is 2029. And Ashley Phillips is leading Spurs out as captain. I think he's going to be a top draw defender. But it's whether Frank keeps them within the camp or sends them out on loan.
This isn't true. Donnelly comes through the club academy. He is a club academy player.
Yeah.
He is a club academy player. Maybe
Correct.
Someone said because he's from Northern Ireland.
Well, Northern Ireland is still part of the... So,
UK,
yeah.
Still part of the UK. But he is a club-trained player, so he will be club-trained.
I honestly think Ashley Phillips, and if you look at our defense, let's just talk about Ashley Phillips for a bit. If you look at our defenders, obviously you got the Danso, Romero if he's there, Van de Ven. Then you go Davies, which who knows, it may have been a signed contract to sell him. Then you got Davies, Vuskovic, Dorrington. Out of all three of them, Phillips is the one I think that needs to stay. He's had 2 loan spells now in the Championship. He's had 2 loans in the Championship and done very, very well at Stoke last year. Has that Championship experience, whereas the other 2 need to get more. Oh, we're doing that. We will be doing that. But I think, yeah, this is the thing, Stephen. Donnelly, he loves them, but it's like now he's got to look at, does he keep them or does he think a loan until January with a break clause or a season long, and then who's coming in? But Ashley Phillips, out of the centre backs, I think he has to keep Ashley Phillips. I honestly think Ashley Phillips is going to be a top draw centre back in years to come. I honestly
do. He did very well in the Championship this year.
He's done brilliant. And at Plymouth. Plymouth loved him. Stoke loved him. I think he is going to be a superb player for Spurs.
Yeah, here's another one. James Flower thought he was poor. I saw bits and bobs. He got the winning goal, so he's now fine. This is the thing about Tell. One of the things I was very trepidatious was
you busting the words out.
He wasn't scoring goals. Tell is starting to score a few goals here and there. Yes, it's under 21 level, and he's got to start doing it in men's football, not under 21 academy football. He's starting to score a few goals, and under Thomas Frank, he's going to start getting a few more goals if he is coached to be in the right areas at the right time. I think he's starting to score. I think he's starting to do well.
Yeah, I think. Well, Ryan, I'll come to your one that I've seen. They're two different players in completely different positions that you've mentioned. But when it comes to Tell, this is the thing. Even when he was on loan at Spurs, when he went on loan to France, when he went on international duty with the under-21s at France, he was regularly amongst the goals and assists. Regularly in the goals and assists. Don't get me wrong, the France under-21 team is quite the team. So I think he will improve drastically. I think he will improve drastically. And I have to say, Morton, two comments. Ryan, Mikey Moore and Ashley Phillips, they're two different players in two completely different positions. Yeah. Centre-backs, I think Ashley Phillips is going to be, honestly, he'll be in the England team. Not for this World Cup. He will be an England centre-back for sure. And as for Morton Barley, I'd love to know where Turkey are getting this money. I would love to know how they can sign these players like Leroy Sané on unbelievable wages, like massive monster wages, and nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Fenerbahce and Galatasaray are far superior to anything in Turkey and more illustrious than the rest of the league. But my God, how are they financing?
Someone asked earlier, I didn't like the thing. Someone asked, how much do you reckon we can get for Richarlison? I think we can get 15 million for him. 15, 20 million.
Actually, I was about to say 20. So
15,
around
20 million, I think. It's not just the wages, though. No, not just the transfer fee. It's getting his wages off the books that allow us to spend that money on different players. I think it's time for Richarlison to go off the book. But back to Ashley Phillips, I totally agree with you, Brian. He needs to be playing, and this is now the manager. To bring in Ashley Phillips, because he's going to coach him next to. Because I don't think Romero's going. There are reports going about. I don't know. I don't think they're correct, but we'll have to see. There are reports going out that Diego Simeone is actually calling Romero every single day. There are reports that he's calling him every day to try and get him to push for a move. But Spurs are not having any of it. Firstly, if Simeone's calling Romero every single day, they should report him for tapping up, because that's against the law.
Well, it's not now. That's what they do. They approach the player before going there now. But I don't think Diego Simeone has got the memo on who he's dealing with.
He hasn't got the memo that he can't buy Romero, a World Cup winning centre back and a Europa League winning centre back at Spurs for 35 million quid. I don't think he's got the memo. It's really, really funny, really. This is the manager to have, Ashley Phillips. He's going to coach him. He's going to coach Ashley Phillips and all those young defenders. He can coach them into a system, and then that's when they will start to improve and they will look like better defenders. And if you get Phillips in between Van der Ven and Romero, or next to those two, I think they will make him a better player, and he will. I think he can really show his quality, and he can go up by 10-15% this year. So I'm excited to see him play men's football in a top level.
Yeah. But listen, again, as we've been saying, we've got to look at this team and be true to ourselves with what's going on right now. We are going to need to get some players. We need to get some players out the door as well as in. We do need to do it regardless. And we shall see what happens. We shall see what happens. But Romero, who knows what's going to go on there? It's not going to help. The money that we're demanding Levy isn't going to... One thing I'll give credit for Levy is he will not buckle on the price unless he does what he normally does right at the end of the window and does it just to get the money in. But Romero ain't going cheap.
Yeah.
Romero ain't going cheap.
Romero is a 70-80 million pound centre back. Sorry, Angus, it's just the truth. When you've won a major honour at Spurs, you can command a higher fee. And Simeone sees Levy and thinks, I bet he'll give me a cut.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like me going to McDonald's and expecting healthy, lovely food.
Exactly. Mate, listen, I think we've got a few questions that we started as well.
We do.
Let's have a look. Wait, let's first of all go back to this one.
That's a very difficult one. Technically gifted, Luka Modric. I can't do any better, can I?
No, I mean, again, is my bias comes. I can't say anyone other than Gaza. But if I had to mention someone other than him, it might be Moussa Dembele. I saw more of Dembele than I did Modric.
3 people are putting Dembele.
Yeah.
Glenn Hoddle, you can't beat.
Yeah, but the question was who you've seen live. Obviously, so he's void for me.
Yeah.
He is void for me.
Hoddle, Berbatov is one. Berbatov was the one that I was putting on par with Dembele, to be honest. But I saw a lot more of Dembele than I did. Oh, I'm going to quietly just disagree with you, Craigo.
Oh, do you know what? No, Craigo, great mate.
I don't think Harry Kane is technically gifted. I think he got there. I think Harry Kane got there with sheer hard work. He's like it's like who's more gifted as a footballer, Ronaldo or Messi? Messi is more gifted, whereas Ronaldo got there because of his work ethic, his training.
Yeah,
it's like Messi was a gifted. Messi was always going to be the best.
Yeah, but you can't, mate. Listen, Kane was incredibly technically gifted. Yes, he worked hard.
He got there through hard work, though.
Oh man, I see where Craig's coming from. I definitely see where Craig is coming from.
It's
Dembele. Listen, you got the one thing you got to look at with Dembele is every single player that ever played at Spurs. They did that video. Who's the best player at Spurs? Every single one of them said Moussa Dembele. Every single one. Forget what we think. This is players talking about people that see him every single day.
The market's changed, Angus. The market's changed. If you're going to buy a prime Virgil van Dijk now, he would be 150 million. The market's changed. Inflation, mate. When did Liverpool sign Virgil van Dijk? 6 years ago, wasn't it?
They signed him. Yeah, I think it was
6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
The world has changed.
Yep.
There might not be an ocean come November. There might not be an ocean separating me and Brian. Mate,
that's the thing. So look, Hoddle, Gather, so many people. Danny Mean Machine. Yeah, his passing.
So go.
or Ollie Skip. Oh, mate. Let's see what other questions we have. After.
We're going for Klinsmann was outrageous.
Oh, mate.
He was outrageously good.
Mate,
yeah.
Jurgen Klinsmann, apart from Gaza, when I went and saw majority, Nacho Slayer, big up, brother. Where I saw a majority of Gaza's games. I saw a majority of the games. But, mate, Jurgen Klinsmann was the first season where I started going home and away. The season before I got my season ticket. The hype around Jurgen Klinsmann and the fee and everything. And everyone just saying he's a diver, mate. You got to remember, he was one of the first big, like superstar names to come to the Premier League. And that season, this first season, he lit it up. Stuart Nethercott.
I've seen so many bad ones.
Mate, Stuart Nethercott was bad. But then, right, this is a good one. Here we go. Do you lads think we should keep Johnson but play him inside right? Go on, after you, Ben.
Yeah, Johnson is a striker for me. Johnson is a striker. Play him in the front two. He'll score 25 goals a year. Yeah,
I think we do see a more ruthless version of Brennan Johnson. I think he gets another. Listen, whether people like him or not, he was our top goal scorer. Scored us the goal, or was a massive part of the goal that won us our trophy. I think you see a completely different Johnson. It's a big year for him. It's a very big year for him. So I think he's going to do well this year. I think you are going to see him. You got to remember, if people go back to when he was at Forest that season, he kept them up. He was ruthless. He was so clinical. He was full of confidence. But again, it comes to the point where if Spurs can get better, they have to. And people go, it's easy to get better than Johnson. But I want to see what he can do under Frank. And I think we see a completely different side of him. So we will go from there. But I do think we see a different Johnson. It's just whether
people slag me off for this. I think Johnson is a more refined, not as good a footballer, but he is this generation's Dele. The way he plays, he doesn't have the aggression that Dele had. But when did Dele put up a 26 goal contribution season, Aki?
Yeah, listen, his goals.
Johnson did what Dele Alli did: arrive at the back post, score goals.
Yeah, but Dele Alli did a lot more. Look at that final season at the Lane.
Not in the last 4 years of playing, though, Aki.
No, but
he did well in the first 3 years, and then he went like. Boom.
Yes, but Dele Alli also wasn't just in the back post. He was late runs centrally. He was long range shot. It was everything. The decline for me in Dele Alli was when we sold Ericsson and Dembele, and we didn't bring in a quality midfielder. Pochettino was forced to put him back in midfield, so they weren't the more attacking the cam, and those late runs he was making were non-existent because he was playing deeper. And then obviously what he had going on in his personal life that no one knew about.
We've spoken, but I think Johnson will not decline. I think Johnson's going to get better.
Yeah,
I think he's going to improve, and he improved last year. The improvement.
Oh, he did.
The improvement in his seat. I think he's going to improve even more.
I
think he's going to score more goals. I think he's going to get more assists. He's improving, and that's only going to come from coaching.
I've got to bring up this comment, and I've got to bring up this comment.
Brennan Johnson. I've got massive belief in him.
Just to bring up this comment because fair play to Scott M. Fair play to Scott M. Because Scott M is doing it. He's sticking to it. Like when I spoke to him, fresh start for all of them. And I know every time he hears the word Johnson, I can just see him going. I can see him going. Must say something. But fair play to you, Scott, brother. Fair play to you. He's sticking to his guns. And fair play to Scott M, my Canadian brother.
So Johnson had a 25 goal and assist season in 2016-17. That was his best. So he's bettered it. He's bettered it. Because Johnson got 26 GA last year in a worse team.
Yeah, but that's like you Johnson, going back to when you were.
I'm joining the JDL.
Yeah, you can join it, brother. You can be a part of it. But that's like you just saying with Angus about Romero and Van Dijk and the prices. Things are different. But I think
he's bettered it. He bettered it in a worse team.
Brennan Johnson now will be the days of seeing Brennan Johnson on the right wing will be now out of necessity only. Yeah. That's it. It will be. You will see Brennan Johnson a lot more central. You'll see him in a new role. And mate, I love Stefan Sam. I love Stefan Dalmat. What a nutcase he was. What an absolute nutcase that man was. And talking of nutcases, Roman Pavlyuchenko. I loved that man.
Another one.
I loved Roman. But yeah, I think Johnson, I put a bet on with someone in the Scotland Yard every year that Johnson will get above 15 Premier League goal contributions.
I'm gonna make a wild prediction now. I think he gets 30 GA this year. I think he gets 20 goals and 10 assists this year.
There we go. Scott M now is really he's going red. He's about to have an aneurysm, mate. It gets to the listen. I think he has a much more productive season. I've just seen Babs. Yeah, I've got another favourite right winger. I still think he is criminally underrated because of his injuries. Is Darren Anderson?
Yeah.
Darren Anderson was the first player I ever got the name and number on the back of the shirt. I think Darren Anderson was absolutely immense for Tottenham Hotspur. I think he was incredible. A lot of people will say other right wingers, but I think Darren Anderson was a class act. Was an absolute class act. There's a Brennan Johnson. I think if we keep mentioning Johnson, I can just see Scotland's put his laughing emoji is going to turn to angry emoji or the swearing emoji very soon. What was the other one? Oh, Sam, I don't need another Gallagher summer. Do you know what? If he came this season, I think it'd be hysterical just to piss Ryan off because he got the 8 Eagles shirt. I will say with Gallagher, I didn't want him at Spurs because I think there were better players available. But last season, if we had had Conor Gallagher, I think our midfield would have been. I don't think we finished 17th.
For sure.
Yeah, it would have been. Do I think he's? Oh, Paul Walsh, mate. But yeah, if Gallagher came, but I don't know. If Frank
he's not coming to Spurs, he's not coming to Spurs.
He won't be. Well, you never know. Listen, if what you've got to look at Ben, is if Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid cannot pay the fee, they might come with players.
And he was going to say no because he'll get ostracised by his entire family.
No, but I'm saying Atletico Madrid may have to be. I'm not saying it will be Gallagher, but some players may be mentioned. I just hope they're not Fraser Campbell, like when we do these things, or Brian Hill with Lamella.
Fraser Campbell.
Stephen Wilson. You see, so many people say this, but I cannot comment on this because I wasn't fortunate enough to see the great man himself. But the amounts of people that speak about this man in like the highest of highest. Oh, big time MJ. Listen, Eze has been my one since before we signed Maddison. Look, if I have to say my top two midfielders or midfield attackers, it's a certain Eze, and if we can't get a certain Eze, it will be Morgan, Gibbs, White, who I simply adore. Either of them, and I'm absolutely over the moon delighted.
That's a new bit of news, isn't it, Aki? Because Nuno Espirito Santo has signed an extension. A lot of people thought he was going to get the sack. But he has obviously signed a new contract. So who knows? I think Forest will be a very interesting outfit next year. It's whether, because Forest dropped off last year, they had an amazing start to the season and Chris Wood couldn't stop scoring. It's whether they can keep that up next year.
Yeah. Correct. But we're going to have to see, aren't we? I mean, let me just quickly check the Twitter sphere to see if there is anything breaking or anything new. Let's have a look.
Ryan Daigle banned from Tottenham Hotspur for stalking his man crush. Big up, Neil.
Mate, listen, I'm just trying to see. I can't see anything yet, but I think like Morton Barley said at the beginning of the stream, I think once we hit July, things start moving for us. I really do. Listen, it's a week away. Or 8 days to be precise, but I think it's literally Yeah, Ferg, brother. It really is. It really is boring on Twitter today, but the day is young. The day is young. Twitter has been wild recently for many, many different reasons. Many, many different reasons. But I will say there is an account that I'm having so much fun. I'm having so much fun just watching his tweets. They've just been hysterical and a great source of humour in a dark time. But yeah, Twitter is wild.
The one that said it, Petrosi, was, or is it Petrosi? It's one of the two. Petrosi. Paul O'Keefe said that they have dropped their scheduling, what's it called? Their payment.
Rather than upfront.
Yeah, rather than upfront, 20 million each year over 3 years. So Spurs are very, very known to be an admirer of Eberechi Eze. So I think this one might come to a close, and I think a lot of people are right. When the financial year ends on July the 1st is when I think Spurs decide to start pulling triggers on their purchases.
Yeah, like I said as well, that what I will say as well, like I said, there's a date I keep hearing being said to me, and it is the 5th of July. Now, I don't know if that is the deadline of Eze's clause of when it gets his clause is null and void, or if it's Spurs have set a deadline or Palace have set a deadline. But I keep hearing July the 5th. So whether that means anything, I do not know. But we shall see. But if Spurs can get this done, I think a lot of Spurs fans, including myself, will be like, thank God, this is more like it. This is a signing that we can actually get excited about. This is a player that instantly comes in and improves this team, sends a message to the Premier League that Spurs are now attracting the players. Petrosi, like I just said, I just keep hearing this date from people. I don't know. Don't take it my word for it. It's what I keep hearing, but I don't know.
Yeah, you're not ITD in the Daigle.
Yeah, all I know, I don't know if that's because Eze's release fee is available until the 5th of July. I don't know if Spurs have gone to Palace and said, right, we need a decision by the 5th of July, or Palace to Spurs, or it could be utter nonsense. Yeah. But I do keep hearing the 5th of July.
Deal that's gone quiet, hasn't it, Aki? And Burmos United has gone very quiet, hasn't it?
Yep, correct. So, yeah.
But final thoughts, Aki, before we decide to end the show, because we are getting to the end of our hour.
Nothing much, mate. I'm just going to go chill, spend... Ilana's got the day off as well, so going to spend the day chilling with my beautiful wife and doing some bits in this lovely Toronto sun, and just having a nice, easy one.
As always. Even Scott M wants Eze. Even Scott M wants him.
Yep.
It's one they've got to do. But on that note, guys, we are going to end the show right there. We will be back tomorrow, the usual time, for the coffee company, and we're just going to have a chat. Brian will probably be with me tomorrow like he always is, and we can have a good chat. And if there's any breaking news, we will go live on both channels.
Like
and we have not been pushing it, but there are 234 of you. If one of my moderators can please put the link in for the coffee company and, of course, Tottenham on Tour, subscribe to both channels. It really helps us out. The coffee company is actually 10 people away from 1,100 subscribers. So if you can go and sub to the coffee company and get that closer to the 2,000 mark, that would be really, really great. But thank you all so much for watching today's show. Thank you for everyone for the support. Thank you to Ryan for the £10 super chat. It really helps us out a lot. And as always, if you submit what the cough is brewing. Take it away, Aki.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us for a marvellous stream. Like I said, we will be bringing loads more content. We've got our mojo back. We've got our consistency back. We will be doing a lot more things at evening time, my time, as well as the fan show next week again. Cheers, Leo. What I will say is Thomas, Frank, Thomas, Frank, And as always, Levy out.
And ciao for now.